Let's see some more headlines.
Ah! I gotta assume that's Pikmin. No! Here we go! Ah! Hello, everyone. So, at the time of recording, it is currently June 13, and obviously, like, extremely excited for Chapter 5, and I had this kind of thing, like, oh, like, with all the off videos I've been having for Finding the Night, that I had like a tons of like plans for Chapter 4 as well, but now we don't have time. I realized like, oh, there isn't going to be any more off videos because I don't have anything these coming weeks that should get in the way of recording the daily night videos. So I realized like, oh, I still have like the Tenda video left, and I have like the entirety of Chapter 4 that I have been planning like a lot of different chapters, a lot of different videos for. So I decided like today, so today it's Saturday, I'm just gonna play through the entirety of Chapter 4 like a final time before Chapter 5 releases. And instead of having like off videos, I'm gonna make bonus videos. So I have already like scheduled for myself how I'm going to do this. Is I picking up my cat? Okay, no. Like the entirety of Chapter 4 isn't going to be one big video. Like I have decided to divide it up a little bit. So the bonus video I'm going to have the coming time now is going to be, the first video is going to be Tenna. The second video is going to be Chapter 4 Light World plus Castle Town. So you're gonna get like, you know, church, Noel's house, like the videos for Chapter 4 is gonna be more a playthrough and not just here's the bosses or here's enemies like the earlier have been. Video number 3 is going to be like the party dojo, so it's gonna be like both for like Chapter 1, for Chapter 2, the new one for Chapter 3. I'm also gonna add the mics there. I don't know how the recording the mics are going to work, considering like it is with the microphone. The fight is with the microphone if you have one. So that's going to be interesting. So I'm gonna have to see how I do with the recording of that one. The next bonus video is going to be the first sanctuary. After that is going to be Gerson, because I want Gerson to have his own video. Then it's going to be the second sanctuary plus part of the third sanctuary. Then you're gonna get the Titan as like the final that is being uploaded on the 23rd. So I have already like scheduled with them. I'm gonna upload them. And anyway, so these are gonna be bonus videos going up alongside, just in like preparation for Chapter 5. I have my web camera on for this one. Hello, like hello. I don't know how much I'm actually gonna be showing it, but I have it. I'm doing this with, and as you can tell, I'm obviously doing this with my microphone because I want to talk about things as they show up. I have my audience. So the official plushes that I bought, plus I made an era plushie. So they are my audience. Yeah, and the reason why we're starting from this screen is because I literally just recorded today's Finding the Night video. So I just got that out of the way. Just did that. You're probably just gonna see on like the inventory that it's gonna be like really different there. Because, you know, like considering I've been doing this like no healing, I've been removing all like items from my inventory to like kind of like force like, oh no, I'm not healing. Like I've only had like the tension max and such. But today I had stuff but today I had stuff in my inventory because I plan to like prepare for Chapter 4 to like have stuff there, not just getting like into battle Chapter 4 and be like, oh shit, I don't have any inventory. Like, god damn it, I screwed myself royally. But anyway, I just recorded that. I don't know how much of like the different things I'm actually gonna show. Like, it's not going to be like the entire chapter. Like, I am going to do like editing and splitting things up and such. But yeah, so it's gonna be like it's going to be like kind of a playthrough of Chapter 4. I am also planning that once we are on June 24, I am going to play through the entire and record that and then upload that like unedited. Or like the only editing I'm going to do is like making sure like the audio is good and like things like that. And I might take like a little like stretch break or something in it. So but those going to be like the only editings I'm going to do for chapter 5. Other than that, it's just going to be me playing. But that was probably gonna go up on like June 25, considering it's gonna be like quite a massive video. I were back and forth on like trying to attempting to live stream. Hello, kitty. And the audio just grew. Okay, considering here, you have to show yourself. Hello. So this is my co-editor. One of them, at least. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to have to. She always does that. Just jump out without any warning. So we're going to have to see, and how often you actually gonna see her, or if she's just going to blend into my shirt. That's how it is having a void. Oh, I love. Okay, but anyway, like the moment that chapter 5 comes out, I am immediately gonna play it. I was thinking back and forth of like attempting to live stream it, but decided I don't want to do that. I want to like really, I want to just do like a normal recording, really take my time with things. I don't think I would, like, considering the amount of views I normally get on my channel, I don't expect to get anyone actually watching that live stream, so it would be like completely dead. But anyway, I still want to record it so I can like move things over in my own time and such. But anyway, we're almost there. We almost have it. Oh my god, we are soon there. Like 11 days. 11 days left. But anyway, that's enough of me yapping for an intro. Let's begin with the playthrough of chapter 4. The bastard I've been fighting for 300 days. I'm just gonna check something here with like items. A lot of young info. Because I just didn't make sure I have Stuck antenna. Susie's so fucking adorable. on, Chris, eat your pancakes. What a sentence. This is his face. I love her. I love her so much. I love the closet. Sorry, this is happening. You know, I really love that that Toriel is back in her undershell outfit. Of course not. Pretty good scenes. Like all of them in the Undertale dress. Good thing they didn't make Rudy stand. Like, don't make the sick guy stand. Moses, it just looks so fucking scary. That fucking last name. Katzenheimer. Elva looks so concerned. Yes, finally. Put a stick in a good place. Okay. Put a stick in a good place. Love doing that, but I thought Chris used to add a second sticker on her own. I love this so much. He's like covered in stickers. I love this. Yeah, damn it, Chris. I want to hear it. Doesn't matter how many times I see that dumbass fucking sprite, I always laugh. Like, that one sprite is like the funniest sprite in the entire game to me. Like, it's like one of my all-time favorites. It's the dumbasses. The Greek spoken about in the Bible. I saw you loud as I like you return to drink to the cycle of Susie. Thanks for the help. I love like the running joke with Jokuton, how it was like there was like one spelling error in chapter 1, but considering that everyone was talking about it, Toby used to put like fuck it and double down. Then the reality is like broken ass fucking speech. Ellen. If anyone wants fucking hits about Chris' personality, fucking banging Ceramon, my man. I love how like these type of dialogue from Chris. I mean, how often like every dialogue we had like with Alvin, we get one of these. Okay, here's me just like yapping a little bit. So before like chapter 3 with, you know, all the fairies that were flying around and then got taken out the back and shot were going around. Oh, you're leaving. Okay. Well, are you gonna stay there or are you gonna go? Okay, I made your decision. When all this like ended, there was like all of like this discussion about like the identity of the knight. I do want to say that I have very much been like, oh, if there is like like I did first like Cammy Boy's video about like multiple knights. Now obviously that one is disproven. It was very efficiently disproven. But back during the chapter 2 era, that was actually my favorite theory on the night, and it was like different ones. But I was always like of the mind that if there is one single person, my favorite candidate was Des. My second favorite candidate, and where this is gonna be weird, was actually Alvin. Yes, I was one of the Alvin troopers, but the reason for it goes kind of hand in hand with another theory or like comic I saw that was made by Lynx Griffin. I do read a lot of their comics and Deltarune stuff, where they made a comic that I do highly recommend watching it, and I do highly recommend looking it up. Like Lynx Griffin's comic about the night, like pretty sure. I don't know if I can get links to works. I've been having a problem with that, but if I can, I'm gonna do it. But basically, like the concept of this comic was that the night was a darkener. More specifically, the item that became the night darkener was Gearson's pen that he, of course, like wrote all his stories about. And the whole reason for why like the night was opening up dark worlds was to like create these worlds where people can go on adventures and have fun and such. And I really liked that idea. Like that was like really an idea I liked for the night. Of like the night not being evil, but they're doing like creating this world where people can go on adventure and have fun, not realizing that oh shit, they're bringing about the roaring doing this. But and that one goes hand in hand with why I was a fan of Alvin being the knight, because I liked the idea. I liked the theory of that Gearson had and exploring dark worlds before the events of Deltarune, and it was like through that through these like that he got his inspiration for his stories. Like that was a theory I absolutely loved. But then Alvin learned that Gearson got inspiration for his stories from the Dark Worlds. So when Gearson died, Alvin still wanted to continue his father's legacy, but don't trust his own writing. So he will be the knight to create dark worlds where that people can go explore, have these adventures, and write their stories. So in a way, continuing his father's legacy. Then of course, like he would learn that opening up dark worlds can lead early into the roaring, and like he's bringing about at the end of the world and such. And when he learned that, he would like immediately stop doing it and would be like an ally instead in trying to stop what he has caused. That was a theory I really loved. And it was like kind of why Alvin was like my second favorite candidate as the potential knight. Because it would be like, I thought it would be like really like sweet in a way. Because it would be like really, really sweet in a way. Because you are just trying to like continuing his father's legacy, trying to make people have these great adventures and inspire them to create stories and such. And I just found that to be like such a like sweet and wonderful concept, like a wholesome concept, but then of course inevitably ending like complete tragedy considering what we learned about the roaring. That made me a fan of Alvin being the knight. Now obviously that one has been completely taken out. Like that obviously isn't happening. I'm sort of worried that Chapter 4 might have ended with him getting kidnapped similar to Undyne. I'm gonna talk about that later more when we get there. Anyway, yapping over. which one? I know one of these like block off dialogue. I'm trying to think of. I think it's key that continue. Okay. I don't know if locked or block of dialogue, so I'm gonna talk to these two first. I love that they call them Christmas. Such fucking dad humor. I fucking love Rudy. I do think the game is gonna end with Rudy dying because like his illness and such, but I love this man. All of them are like, Chris will sing swears. I know them so well. Not here, Rudy. This is a holy place. I do think that that's like an interesting theme with Carol. How they do very much appeal of how like focuses on like keeping things the way they are and not letting things change and such. And here's the thing: I very much of that. I don't think that like Carol is like straight up evil. I think it's more like she's dealing like she's like obviously a strict parent, but she's also like dealing with the loss of Des in an absolutely horrible way. I love these two just sharing a glass of juice. I'm gonna pick this just because it's funny what Chris do. Like, I did not tell Chris to toss the glass. They did that on their own. Fucking chaos gremlin edgelord ass. Let's talk about that. Yeah, she's busy in the shelter. No! I love that fucking quotation mark. Inside your house with Susie. Weren't there like a lot of people that thought Susie was a horse in like during the early game? I'm personally a fan of the fear of like Susie being like a dragon. so fucking adorable. Like, that fucking sprite. She's so goddamn adorable. Oh, I love her. Nice painting moves. Incidentally, Asgore fits all three. Like, he's absolutely gonna be important in Chapter 5. I would be genuinely surprised if Asgore is not important in Chapter 5. Like, I don't think he's going to be, like, final boss or secret boss material, but he's absolutely going to be important. Sick fruitios. Fucking dumbasses. Oh hell no! It's the instant fuck off! I love those moments where, like, Chris just standing completely still as you see it, he just shoves them. Can I be completely honest about what we hear about Asgore's sprite? So when you look at, like, and you see, like, the ears to the side, it took me the longest time to realize those are his ears. Back during, like, time of Undertale, I thought it was, like, part of his cape. So for some reason, like, his hair, like, that on the like, the talk sprite is black. I thought that was his ears, while the white was just, like, part of his cape. And it actually took me until, like, play through Chapter 4 for the first time to realize that, oh no, the white parts are his ears. That's his hair. It took me so long. I did not realize those were his ears. Ascor. 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 I do know you want things to go back to the way they were before. But what you're doing now is stalking behavior. Accept a no and move on. What you're doing is creepy. Like, I have like so like conflicting about like completing feelings about Ascor like Deltarune, because Undertale Ascor, the way he was in Neutral Route, is like genuinely my like one of the highlights of the part. Like the way he was written and how like a conflicting of a character he was like so amazing. I love that so much. But then after like the Neutral Route, he just so often became this like pathetic butt of the joke about like their divorce and such, and Deltarune had very much like gone in the same route. So I really hope that we, with Chapter 5, gets to see that side of Ascor again that we got to see in the Neutral Route of Undertale. Like, the one that literally smashes the mercy button because he thinks he doesn't deserve it. Like, and that whole thing, like, that fight is, like, generally so good of, like, oh, your leitmotif would be in my song, but you're not nerdy enough to understand what that means. Like, that's that side of him. I so hope we get to see more of that, of Ascor in Chapter 5. Because I do think that he's been kind of screwed, that I do think that Ascor have been kind of screwed over by the writing. And I really do think that, like, Ascor has been screwed over by the writing a bit, like been this, like, pathetic butt of the joke too often. So I really hope that, like, Chapter 5 changes that, considering that they do see all the hints we have do point at it being, like, the Flower King that is the next Dark World, and, like, the prophecy that we see later, we do see, like, Ascor's sprite, like, the Flower Man trapped in asylum. So I do very much see him being important. And I do hope we get to see that side of him again. That we get to see in the Neutral Route of Undertale, and, like, that really... Because that was, like, generally such amazing writing. I would honestly say I think that, like, the way that Ascor has been handling Deltarune so far is actually my biggest critique of the game. But it's also, like, such, like, minor thing that I'm really holding up hope for that they get changed. And if it does, then that critique is gone. Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, I don't see Ascor being, like, a final or secret boss or anything, but I absolutely see him being extremely important for the plot. Fucking that joke. The fucking sound effect. Fucking magical girl transformation of just tossing the clothes. These clothes hold the power of your animal. Return to the earth. Return to the earth whence you came. I'm gonna be respectful to them and don't talk to them because they are visiting a grave. It's like the scene with Susie in Chapter 3 where it talks about, like, sitting on the bench and now, like, that being the gears and memorial bench, and then like have important gears in these two chapters. Like, blink. Sorry, Chris. If I could, I would give you free hands and just play. This is my step. I love it. I love how like Rudy is like a wingman to the Polycube. Like you have like lines in chapter 2 about like Chris and Susie do things, and now we have like when Susie and Noelle do things. Like he's wingmanning that entire Polycube. Like he wants that to happen. Like he wants the Polycube to happen, which I agree with him. Honestly, that's while I am a hardcore cruise shipper. That would be genuinely so fucking amazing if the game actually ends with like Chris, Susie, and Noelle all ending up together. Like a canon Polycube would be so amazing. Like with the main cast being a canon Polycube, I would love that so much. The fucking sprites! I hate this fucking bird! I want to do that forever. Like, the true liking Burly experience is like, oh my god, I fucking hate this character, I want him to live forever. Like Snapcube's fucking... Snapcube had like so many fucking amazing quotes. I fucking hate Susie so much. You know, I'm one of the few people that kinda like Caddy and Noelle. They're kinda like interested in that ship. Fuck you, Susie's great! get it. The locker's locked. Locker's locked.
When the light is running low.
What is this? The fact that she carried that across town. Oh my god. I love the fact that Susie has been teaching Ross a brain rot. And considering that she's been teaching him awful speech, she has been teaching him the good brain rot. It's so fucking stupid. I wonder if Sean has anything to say about the fact that... Okay, this is a thing I'm kind of curious about. I did beat the knife without wearing the shadow mantle, but I still have it. So I want to see if they comment on that. Okay. That would be like insane if they would also if that would like program that Sean would have like special comments if you didn't wear the shadow mantle. Oh right, I realized that when I'm here, I haven't changed people's equipment. Okay, this is yeah. Let's change around a little bit here. I want to have the shadow mantle again. Rest I think is good. We are gonna put. Let's see. I do want that big grace area, so let's change the back to the deal maker. Backwards. That looks good for Chris here. We're gonna change to the black shard, which that was gonna make like fighting against the Titan so easy. Let's see. We are gonna keep it like that. What? I don't even have any other for Susie. We're gonna change back to the thing to scuff. We're gonna magic. We're gonna change that for like something like increased magic. Yeah, like blue ribbon. And tension bow, what does that give? Oh, I do have so I can make like another ribbon. Okay. Now I think we can exchange the tension bow for a twin ribbon. What was it? It's a TP game. That's Greece area. Let's do that attack. So yeah, I mean, just look at like Rolls' stat here, like Jesus Christ. Maybe I'm just gonna check. What does the Moonstone do instead? It's TP gain, but it's less defense. You know, considering how the work is, I think having one with having the tension bow like that is probably better. We have one twin ribbon over something else. And I have no hit the motherfucker 5 times. Bro, I have been fighting this fucker and winning over 300 times. If we get a rematch against the Knight, your ass is mine! This is so cute. Please. Wait. You overshot it, Susie. this here is so important. Like, it's not that Susie's changed, she's just being herself. And I love that very much. You can't swear, dude. Okay, I see like people joking about like the whole thing of like how with the A train and such, Deltarune is allowed one fuck. And it would be so funny if like the single fuck that is said in the game is said from Ross A. Now, Susie is the most likely one to be like the one person to swear. Or Chris. But it would be so funny if it is Ross A. I love to react, Chris. Rosie, eat the cake. Yeah, I don't know how it feels while I'm at work and it's stuff happening. Just spread out, pussy out! Queen, the character that you are! What did I say? One more! Look at your rolls. It feels like eldritch knowledge to know that Rolls is canonically hot. Apparently. Just gotta hit that lost girl pose. do worry where the game is gonna go with Rolsey. I see some comment about like the fact of how like Rolsey keeps like talking in the season, like, oh, Susie's so nice, so nice, and such. Like, I feel like that might be an important part of like the prophecy of like the part that Susie shattered, that we don't know what the fuck's going on. Yourself. Wherever the game is going with this is like, oh, it's going to be painful. Oh my god. President is the best videos. That is so sorry, I'll say. Oh yeah, okay. Happy Stardust. I wonder if like chapter 4 and 5 are gonna get their rooms. I don't think there's gonna be much more Castle Town after chapter 5. Because I feel like with chapter 6 and 7 we're gonna be like thrown right into like the fuckery that's gonna be the roaring. I'm personally a fan of like that majority of chapter 6 is going to take place in the shelter. Yes. This scene is so sweet. A fucking explosion. This scene is so goddamn sweet. Like, oh my god. Like, it is, but when you look at like Light World section, that one is like my absolute favorite. And like back when like chapter 4 was coming out and I was watching like other playthroughs of it, I found that was like something that really made me judge a playthrough. If they missed that scene or not. Because it is such a sweet scene and so wonderful and oh my god, it's so adorable. And I do also think it's like very important the fact that we don't see what Chris writes or draws. Like, yeah, Susie say what she writes and draws, but we have no idea what Chris does. And I think that is so important. And like this entire scene is just so goddamn adorable. And and I think I mentioned it in like description of like an earlier video. But I am not that big on Suselle. I am very much a Chris shipper. Like these two are so cute together, and I love them together so much. I don't think they're gonna be endgame just from how things are set up. I do think Suselle is going to be endgame, even though I myself are not that big on it. But like this is just so sweet. And like and here's like a thing when it comes to like shipping and such, and very much what I like. I am very much like this when it comes to shipping. I want there to be a strong connection between the characters before there's any romance. I am very much like a big fan of this, like having characters having like strong relation, loving spending time with each other, then having this oh moment when they realize that friendship has turned romantic. Like the friends to lovers. And like the thing that I absolutely love with like Crucy is that depending if you have them been doing like romantic stuff or platonic stuff, they act the same. That is so important to me. Like just because they like in the artwork and such they end up being like, romantically involved, it doesn't change how they interact with each other. Like they're still chaos gremlins. Like they're still like like I joked about like the only difference between like if you consider them romantic or not is whenever they kiss the homie goodnight afterwards. And they say like that's the only difference. Like they still do like the same chaotic shit. And then they kiss the homie goodnight afterwards. Like both romantically and platonic, they kiss the homie goodnight. The difference is whenever they're saying no homo afterwards. And like here's the thing. That's also like the whole of the how like I want there to be a strong connection between characters before there's any romance. That's also why I'm not a big fan of Suselle. Because like here's the thing, like Noelle have a huge fucking crush on Susie. There is no denying that. Denying that is just being a fucking idiot. Like Noelle is suited for the lizard. Like she is off the rockers for the lizard. But that's the thing, that why Suselle never hit with me is because Noelle develops this huge crush on Susie before actually knowing her. And we get to see that like kind of in like chapter 1 of her like talking about like things and such, and kind of in chapter 2 as well. Like, but she doesn't, like she has this huge crush, but she doesn't know Susie. Like she, like, and I'm also thinking back to like that, to the blog post, like the new girl, that's part of the spam to sweet thing. Now, very important disclaimer here. Toby has said that anything that happens is not canon. So that, like the newest girl blog post, it's not canon, it's an exploration of like their characters. And it's still, and that is like very much something that is sitting wrong with me. That even, once again, it's not canon, exploration of the characters, but even in this, Noelle saw Susie acting like this towards Chris, her old childhood friend, and she still has this crush on Susie still. It's like, oh no, she's probably a kind person. Now, of course, we do know that Susie is a kind-hearted person on need. Like, that is absolutely who Susie is. But it's something that was, like, always sitting very wrong with me. And before we get any comments like that, I'm not blaming Noelle for not stepping in and, like, stopping what was going on. Because, like, freezing up and being, like, a deer in the headlights and such is a very well-established character flaw with Noelle. And that's like the entire thing that we see in chapter 2 is her working to overcome that flaw, and I assume that we're gonna see that throughout the rest of the game. So I'm not gonna judge a character for in a prequel having a flaw that are very clearly established that this is a flaw they have, and we get to see them work to overcome that. So I'm not judging Noelle for that. I am judging Noelle for like afterwards writing a blog post about like, oh, I wish Susie would do that to me. It's like, girl, what the fuck? And I know it sounds kind of weird saying that it's I know it can also be like kind of weird being like, oh, that like the way Noelle reacts, why don't ship Susie and Noelle? But like, I still ship Susie and Chris while Susie being absolutely awful towards Chris. But once again, that is like, once again, when we're coming to like character flaws and such, something we see Susie work through, and I definitely think that the whole of like how Susie were bullying Chris beforehand, I am still very much expected that to be a big moment to them to have like talk about it. Like I do very much see that being like part of Chris being like the night conspiracy to be revealed, like Chris part of it. Whatever, like this definitely going to be like huge fallout between Chris and Susie when that happens. And I very much also think like after that happens, they are going to reconcile, and part of it is going to be like talking about like Chris' role in that conspiracy, how Susie has been treating Chris. So I do very much think that this is going to be addressed, which is why it's kind of like, but anyway, like the scenes with Noelle just crushing real hard on Susie doesn't hit with me because I want there to be an established relation before there's any romance, which they're not. Now, the scenes that we do get with Noelle and Susie, them talking and bonding, are cute. And had those happened before we got scenes of Noelle crushing, I would have felt completely different about Suzelle. But consider we get Noelle crushing real hard before we get them bonding, and it's a no in my head. Meanwhile, with Chris and Susie, we get to see them bond, like we get to see this relationship growing between them. And like it was kind of like this thing, like it's so important to me, like replaying the game with like knowing of like replaying the game that we have so far with like all the extra content we have and such. It's so important to me that in chapter 1, the first thing we ever do see Chris doing on their own, like the first real significant thing that they do when they act on their own outside of our control, is to protect Susie. And then of course like that Susie then later also protects Chris, and like that's like the moment we get to see her eyes for the first time proper, and that is also like the point from like onwards where we see Susie's eyes. Like the two of them protecting each other is like such a like important parts of both of their character developments and like what's going on with their characters, that and it's like it's so important for their character development. It's so important for like their relation that already back in chapter 1, that moment actually made me invested in the cruise ship, and then it just been going stronger ever since. And I just love how there are like so many scenes of them just absolutely matching wavelengths, like the fucking juice, for example. It's a like small moment, but I love it so much. Like these two are just such dumbasses that fit each other's energy perfectly. And I love it so much, and I just want to see so much more of it. And there are like some other scenes, of course, that is in chapter 4 that I'm gonna talk about as they come, but like it's just so important to me. And why I very much hope that Crucy's endgame. I don't think it is. I'm very used to my ships never becoming canon. I do very much see Suzelle being canon, and if we get more proper bonding between Susie and Noelle, I won't mind it. I'm not invested in that ship. But holy shit, I am invested in Crucy. Anyway, yap session over. For now. I have regret. Look at this, she's so fucking adorable. What was it like? Did she say something like you fur degenerates before? Like, it's so sad at that time what changed. Apparently you goddamn milk pirate. Fucking Underfell sad. That I don't know, but like this just makes me think of like fucking Underfell. Sad's professional rage baiter. Alright, let's give him that. You know, this is good for Tana. Get away from the toxic ex that is spam done and get to like a better one that is marathon. Like, yeah, like a healthy relation. Hope we get like some and I'm very much like of the mind that oh yeah, that's Metaton in there. I really hope we get like some Metaton in Tenna. Like Tenna deserves to move away from his toxic ex that is Spamton. Like the fandom as a whole should abandon Spamton. I know that is a controversial take, but I hate seeing that fucker everywhere. Okay, so quick here, I never speak to Onion Sub because they genuinely creep me the fuck out. Here we go. Oh, this is so sweet. I love this, like, Chris, Susie's the guest. Make an excuse for her. I hate the clothes. That's a helping dumbass. To be fair to her, I think they're being equally terrible influence on each other. I'm sorry, I'm back on my crazy bullshit. But this expression of Susie, she pretty much only have it around Chris. And it means so much to me. I used to imagine it like in the end of like chapter 2, Susie's coming out of the bit like, I did drag, and he's like bubbling from her breath. The fact how much Chris hates the word tsundere. I just like this. There we go. I'm back on my crazy bullshit. This movie's so sweet. Yes. And I am planning to use that at the festival, because judging for some art, we're gonna have like both Susie and Noel with us, and I wanted to make it a fun experience for everyone before it inevitably hits the fan. This is so sweet. Stop being so goddamn adorable. Anyway, I think I've explored everything I want to check. So, time for Noel's house and the fuckery that is that. Speaking of power. Oh my god. She's so fucking dense. That's she's doing it on purpose. Not much. And she lives in a fucking mansion. Except for that. Noel! Why are you being this cute? I mean, depending on where you live, yes. Like, you can just take, like, tap water. Well, again, depending on where you live. I myself, of course, live in Sweden, and generally speaking, like, Scandinavia, we have, like, some of the, like, cleanest tap water. So here, it's fine to just take some tap, like, just grab a glass and take some tap water, and you're fine. But, that's different. But depending on where you live, that's, quite different. Oh shit. Yeah, maybe go to oh shit. Lost the cactus in a divorce. Okay, I think I spoiled everything I want. Yes. We haven't even fucking started. Shut the fuck up! Roll. You gotta be on camera if you're gonna come here. Get the camera. Get the camera. God damn it. God damn it, Toby. Face! I want this bird to fucking die! Immediate context. So, we're falling for like dominoes and Chris next, which means that Burley is convinced that Chris is also gonna join the harem. Burley, your head is so far up your own ass! No one's part of the harem. At least not your harem. The harem that is ongoing in this game is centered around Susie. She's the harem protagonist. Yeah, I do think it's like very interesting here with like Desta when we see her room, how dented all the stuff is. How I do have like that. I do see that the game are building up some parallels between the Susie and Desta. They do seem to be similar from what we get. But I do also think that there's like such like important difference between them. Like the moment that Susie learns what darkness actually is, you can see how protective she becomes of the items that she know are darkness. And then you look through Death's room and it's a complete mess. Like everything is so destroyed in here. Yeah, 1225. Everyone in Deltarune know that number. Of course, Chris being their gremlin, the edgelord self. Ow. Okay. Can we talk about the moment how shit Chris is at being evil? They're throwing us in the one box without a lid. And we're gonna see more of it later. Yeah, sure, close the door, but like... We're gonna get to more later. Like... This section was so like, oh my god, what the fuck's happening the first time I played. And I do, like... I absolutely love this section because it do like hammers home how like... helpless we are without a vessel. Like, we can't do anything. Hey. Oh, we are worried about Undyne here. Sharpshooter! Like this, like fucking edgelord. Like you see what I mean? With Chris being shit at being evil. They brought in a one box without a lid and closed the door so fucking hard that the fucking vent opens again. Yeah, have another glass of chocolate milk. I mean, with everything going, they need it. They deserve it. They have deserved some chocolate milk. Where the fuck is that? The Pokemon? Like, look at this scene! When they don't know we look at that we can see them, they're walking completely fucking normal. But the moment that, like, Chris knows that we can see them, they start the fucking gremlin walk. There's this on here. Is it weird that this makes me emotional? I'm just gonna sit there, give Chris a moment. I just so hope we get some more Let's go. Let it go, Asgore. If you need more evidence that he's gonna be important in coming chapters, you have like goddamn black shard, like you motherfucker. Whee! I mean, the only thing I can do is be annoying. I demand my presence to be known. Address me. You're hearing bells? Come down there, I want you to find me. I want this out of fucking way. I want this breakdown to happen so we can deal with this. And now we'll come through in a moment. Yes, get down here and let my presence be known. I want this to be dealt with. Ow. See? See. Imagine fucking horrified. Like there's like this being who's like possessing like your best friend, and now it's out of there, and it's like slowly creeping towards you, like, Cece, I wanna be your friend. I tried to wait like a perfect moment to like scare them. Isn't lost and found? Okay, here we go. It's a perfect moment. Oh, like the minute this? I'm trying to wait for a comedic moment. I see it! The fucking weapon of choice. Okay, that was bad. Nope. Meow! I figured for one reason this would work. I'm gonna stay put because Susie asked. I know nothing happens if if you stay still. Well, I'm just doing it for a bit. He's like spamming move. Doesn't do anything. Get me out! Oh. Get there! Get out! Come out here! Come out there! Let my presence be known! Okay. Bastard, I know you're there. I love how like the soul just like remains on the side, like he's so offended, like wow. Oh look, this like fucking gremlin ass move. I'm just gonna. Nope. Reach, Chris. you can reach me. You don't see me, Chris. Hello. I thought we could rage bait him. Okay, wait. We have some problems, guys. I'm just gonna leave the recording running. I need to go check. automatic feeder for my cats went off, but like they weren't eating. See. Okay. Chris is beating the living shit out of us. I need to go fix him quick. I got a boost. The fucking bows. So, first time I played, when you got to the point of like Chris tripping, I walked over the puck, and I thought they tripped because I walked over it. And I got extremely guilt-free. I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry! And like completely ignored the fact that I have just spent like 10 minutes beating the shit out of me in the closet. This is gonna be interesting. I hope we get more of that this in chapter 5. Higher Grace, I would say it dropped like 10 minimum. Oh, these are fucking dumbasses. I love them so much. Okay, splat noise. Don't worry, Susie. I know exactly what pretty much the entire Deltarune fandom has figured out what it is.